First, want to just say congratulations to Coach Curry and Little Rock. Tremendous run here these last couple weeks. Massive hat tip, massive respect. Absolutely took us to the mat. I don't know that I've seen a better prepared team, a more competitive team, or well-coached team at any point. I told the players tonight is one of the best wins of my entire career because of what they had to do to earn it. We obviously have great talent and great players like these three guys, but you're looking at three of the best human beings on the planet. We won tonight because of character. And when I think about character, I think about Luis, I think about Ethan, and I think about Kaysen. And I've said this before, maybe in reference to them, but this is what an LSU baseball player is supposed to be and needs to be in all phases. And you look at the offensive performance by Ethan, that's arguably the best game I've ever seen any one of my players play, considering the situation. Luis, clutch. I mean, absolutely clutch. Sometimes you look a player in the eye in the on-deck circle and you go, this is about to be good. And special night tonight. Great toughness, catching 4 games in a row. Really proud of him for that and maintaining, massive offensive production. And this dude is a superstar. And you guys have been around a lot longer than I have, but there haven't been very many better performances on that pitcher's mound in championship games than what you just saw by Kaysen. So super proud of these guys. Couldn't be more excited to dive into Super Regional Week and get ready for West Virginia.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. As I mentioned, Luis Hernandez, all-tournament team as a catcher. Ethan Fry, all-tournament team as a designated hitter. I also want to say congratulations to Jay. Tonight's win, his 500th in his career. So congratulations, Coach, on that honor as well tonight. Real quick, as we're looking ahead to Super Regional, before we open up for questions for Coach, dates, sites, times, and broadcast information for the Super Regionals will be released via press release and social media approximately 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central tomorrow. All right, 9 a.m. Be looking for it, social media dates, times, and assignments for the Super Regionals. Thank you, Bill. And with that, let's open up the floor for questions for Coach Johnson. Scott?
Jay, you guys talked about the fan support and everything you get, and rightly so, but there was a lot of nervousness in the ballpark, especially when you guys got down 5-1. Did you ever allow yourself to be concerned about not winning, or are you just trying to, from last night to tonight, just trying to figure out all the things that it would take to win?
Yeah, the first thing I want to say is I want to echo what the players said about that environment tonight was special. Like, maybe the Super Regional a couple years ago, I don't ever remember it like that. And it's been great. I mean, that was like another bar. And the thing I'm the most grateful for is maybe in those nervous moments for them, I felt like they really lifted the team. I think Jake flied out to left with the bases loaded, a little bit of carryover feeling maybe for them with last night's game, us not capitalizing on some opportunities. But they kept going. They kept supporting the players. And that's all I care about. And baseball is not a game designed to be played perfectly all the time. And the fans here, they love LSU no matter what. But this is the easiest group of guys to get behind in the entire world because you have Kaysen Evans, Ethan Fry, Luis Hernandez. Like, that's the character of the team. But the fans were outstanding tonight.
Hey, Coach, I think, looking around the nation and at other regionals, you could not ignore top seeds falling. Did you guys at any point today coming into this game feel like your back was against the wall? And if so, what did you tell your team to kind of get them to relax?
Yeah, I didn't watch any games today. I literally did not turn the TV on in my office. I have no idea who won, who lost, any of that type of stuff by design. And the approach today was a little bit different. I actually brought something back from my past. I did at Arizona when we'd host and we'd play really late games. I actually brought them in early in the day as kind of like hey, this is a checkpoint, type deal. And they didn't need any motivation today. It was actually pretty cool actually just wrote on the board the lineup. I wanted everybody to know the lineup early. I wanted everybody to know the pitching plan and the guys on the bench. And next to each name, I wrote down like what their job was tonight. And it was pretty cool to actually see the game play out the way that it did. As simple as like Ashton Larson. Hey, you're going to pinch hit when there's runners on base. There was 2 outs, a man on first, and he drew a walk, which set the table for the big hit of the night, which was Ethan's double with the bases loaded. Jake Brown advancing on the ball in the dirt, which we were going to anticipate because Jared was hitting behind him there. You're going to try to go sliders down. He advanced on the ball in the dirt, ended up scoring a huge run right there. Obviously, Kaysen's performance speaks for itself, and the thought was they would not be able to adjust to his tempo and aggressiveness following Zach. And it was really cool. So it was really just about all we talk about is how we play. And this is about execution. It's really boring for you guys. You can't write a story on execution. But that's all the game was about. And we felt like we had a good plan. And I'm proud of them for going out and executing it tonight.
Michael?
When you say that, it reminds me of what you did in Omaha with your pitching plan. I'm just wondering how much in advance did you have Anthony in the hole, and kind of just speak to the job that he and Kaysen did really to bring this thing home.
Yeah, add that guy to everything I've said about these guys. Absolute warrior. So I told him last Wednesday he was going to pitch on Friday. And the main reason we were going to use him on Friday was because I felt like he would be able to bounce back for the exact scenario tonight. And I just kind of looked at him when things weren't going well last night in the 9th inning. We were down 10-4. He's like, I got it. And then that was it. He went down there mid-game, basically when we got it back to 5-4. And he doesn't take very long to get ready. I mean, the dude's like a ridiculous athlete, ridiculous physical condition. And the competitors, like nothing else. Even when they rolled the ball up the middle for the base hit, and it's 7-6, it was my heartbeat didn't change because of the man on the mound. And he was ready for it. This was also why we did what we did in Hoover. I didn't want that to be the first time that he did it. So,
Coach, sometimes when things have gone sideways in games, you've decided to have a little team meeting in the dugout. But down 5-1 in this situation, you decided not to do that.
Yeah.
Why did you decide not to do that?
Yeah, it's a really good question, and I'm really excited to answer this. And I mentioned this being one of the best wins I've ever had. To a man, they were not going to let each other lose tonight. It was like next level, like conversations of staying with it, enthusiasm. Let's answer back, cut into the lead, 3 quality at bats in a row, get the leadoff guy on. And that's why it was such a great win. They were not going to let each other lose tonight in a way that you don't see very often. But you guys have seen it. I mean, you've seen it. You saw it against Mississippi State, you saw it against Alabama, and you saw it against Tennessee. So they fully believed that they could do it. And I'm even more proud because we had a couple opportunities and didn't come through early. Like, it didn't come easily. And it's a great win. And I just felt good about where they were at mentally. There was no panic. The one time when I went out to the mound for the second time in the inning was like, hey, we made an error. I can't remember the last time we made an error in the infield. I really can't. And then the ball fell in between Chris and Danny. And then maybe I felt the sense of the nerves in the ballpark. And I was just like, okay, hey, let's get out of this at 5-1. And then number 20 took care of the rest from there.
Yeah, Jay, I don't know that I've ever seen you as animated as you were after the Jared Jones home run there in the dugout. Just how important was that swing, one, and then two, how important is that for him after maybe going through a little bit of struggles this weekend at the plate?
Yeah, that's probably the most excited I've been, at least in this season. He had a big homer as a freshman against Alabama in a crazy game that we'd kind of come back in like that. So I love him. Like, I mean, this is 3 years, and this is like this as far as what we're trying to do in player development. And he hadn't had a good couple weeks here, but we were here working today. and there was just like one of those good coach moments where somebody's, you can tell how hard they're fighting themselves because they care so much and they want to be the guy for the team. It wasn't about him or his performance. He's way past that. Like, he's been such a great leader this year. And just the work that was put in today mentally and physically to, 2 hits. I think he had 2 hits, and that was a huge deal. It's a lot different 9-6 than 7-6, as we know from Chapel Hill last year. That's why we didn't win the regional last year, is we couldn't get the 2-run cushion. So it just the moment, the work, the behind the scenes, the blood, sweat, and tears in the bucket that he's put in that nobody sees. They just see in the struggle. Like, it was really cool. It was a really cool moment right there on top of just winning. I mean, it was a winning play of the game.
Coach, we got a question with Scott, and if you still have one in the back, that'll be the last question for Coach. Scott, go ahead.
Jay, can you describe your decision? You moved a lot of pieces around in the lineup from last night, and it's hard to do, I would imagine, at this point in the season when you've had such a successful season. Can you talk about some of those decisions and maybe how long it took you to decide what to do that, or maybe how short a time it took you?
Yeah, I think I just operate by this. When do you take a risk? You take a risk when you have a lot to gain. We had a chance to play a super regional at home, 2 wins to go to Omaha, 7 more to win a national championship, maybe 8. It was time to take a risk, and then you don't just do it to do it. Like, there's never a decision in this program made just because I want to make a decision. It's I'll walk you through the whole thing. So Derek Curiel is the engine of this offense. Like, that's what he is. He's the engine of this offense, and how he plays inspires the team. And then it's Ethan Fry is one of the best hitters in the country right now. Right now, he's one of the best hitters in the country, and I wanted to get him up as much as we possibly could. I wanted them to feel pressure immediately in the game with him stepping in the batter's box. Steven, I don't know if he was on the all-tournament team. He should have, but yep, I see it right there. His at-bats this weekend were him at his best player. He will play baseball for a very long time if he takes the caliber of at-bats that he has. And I felt good going into the day, like that's what he was going to do. Danny hit 2 homers and then hit a deep fly ball against them the other night, and how they pitched them, I knew they were viewing him as a big threat. And I thought that would help Steven get pitches to hit. And then Jake, I thought, was a good matchup, being that we were going to see the types of pitchers that we saw tonight. And then on the best teams that I've had, that 6-hole guy, after you're having to work through the top 5 and all those guys doing their job, sometimes they can get forgotten about a little bit, or the pitcher lets up just a little bit, and I wanted to kind of give Jared that advantage. Chris Stanfield, I thought, played awesome this weekend. I wanted to get him up a couple more times. I thought he could impact. He's done a great job turning the lineup over, but I thought maybe getting him one more at bat in the 9th inning, and he hit the chopper, and the speed obviously created a run. I told the team that was the best 8-hole hitter in the country tonight in Luis, and that was also on the board, actually. And then, Michael just played defense because with Zach and Kaysen, there was a sense the ball was going to be on the ground and, run tough at bats and turn the lineup over. And I felt like I liked the flow of all of it a lot better.
By the way, since you asked about Steven and Luis were the only 2 players that were unanimous. You were asking about him.
Yeah.
He was unanimous as well for the all-tournament team. Last question for you, Coach, back here in the back left.
Coach, obviously Ashton Larson gets the initial pinch hit, but then you put in Tanner Reeves at third base. He puts up some good ABs and has some really good work defensively. Talk about what he means as far as super regionals go and beyond that for you.
I mean, he's a very good player. We had him committed for a long time. I like left-handed hitting infielders. He's obviously a lot stronger than maybe he looks, as you guys saw the ball come off his bat tonight. Has worked really hard. He played great defense in the couple games we had him in this weekend as well. We'll take it game by game, and just another guy that belongs here. It's when I think about these guys, these are supremely talented players, but it's probably a lot like what Coach Burtman had when they were really, really rolling here in terms of the competitor, the worker, and then there's always a Tanner Reeves on one of those teams too. that steps up when you really need him, and he stepped up big tonight. That play in the 8th inning was huge to, arm strength that thing over there, and he took a couple really good swings too.
Coach, again, congratulations on 500. Congratulations on winning the regional. Don't forget, 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, Central, the announcement for the Super Regional. And everybody has deadlines. Thanks, everybody, all weekend long.
Who votes on this?
Voting on this would be active, media? All active media covering for the tournament.
Okay. I'm just wondering how we missed on Case and Evans on here, too. Is there any rules you can only have? You have 2 or you can have 3?
Yeah, 2.
It's a bad rule. I was waiting for you guys to say it was the most outstanding player of the deal. That's why it wasn't on there. So, Bill, somebody needs to fix that. So, see you next weekend.
Congrats, Jack. Thank you all very much.